Welcome to the Shawn Douglas Show. This is where we talk about life as a creative, an outlier, and someone who doesn't quite fit the mold. If you're struggling with finding balance, if you feel like a freak, if you're trying to find your place in this world, then this podcast is for you. And hey, you also catch some random, just for fun stuff along the way, because life's too short to be all serious. Hey, welcome back. So today I want to talk about environment, which is a good theme, the environment all around me here. This has been my shooting spot for the last couple ones because I enjoy the way it looks, and I enjoy the feel, and I get the shade of the trees and beautiful things around me. It gives me a sense of freedom and the joy of the beauty of nature. So it sets an environment. And I want to talk about how environment is impactful on everything that we do and how we can actually take responsibility over our environment and make it better. To start out, the first environment that we have any control over is our own mind, the internal environment, the environment of our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings, our desires, what we want, what we need. These are the things that we are aware of that we have on the inside of us, and they shape the direction of our life. They shape the way that we look at the world. Everything is really viewed through our inner world first. That's the lens, and everything else is filtered through that. We never have this just perfect view of everything that's going on apart from all of our own thoughts and emotions and definitions and ideas and aims. We see the world through all those things. It's like the saying goes, to the hand with a hammer, everything's a nail. So that perspective is really a powerful one when you understand it, because it means when somebody learns a new concept, when somebody gets a new skill, or if you just take someone that, say, their trade is that they're a expert on railroads, or they're a aerospace engineer. Well, anytime that they look at any problems and things that are going on in the world, they're going to tend to use the same kind of thinking and troubleshooting. They're going to tend to have the same priorities and the same values unconsciously, without even meaning to. It's going to be applied to other kinds of questions. It's going to be applied to other kinds of problems in their ordinary life. And there's going to be some gradienting over there. It's going to blend over a little bit. It's not just going to be where all they are, he's at home, so now he's just daddy. Yeah, but daddy is also an engineer. And so whatever comes in a line and brings up that kind of programming of what he does for work every day, that's going to come into his problem solving and what his values and his goals and his aims are going to be when he's there at home. So the principle of environment matters because we set the tone and we set the environment, and what we are soaked in, what brews us, becomes the anchor point. These are the points of reference that will dictate how we move, what we do, what we're going after, and the continuing basic operation of things is going to continue to the same outcomes. It's going to continue to the same ends. I want to get into some details about a few other environments that we find ourselves in. So aside from the internal environment, one that I already made reference to was the environment of other people. It's the thoughts and feelings and emotions that they have. It's what they want from us. It's the relationships that we have with other people. And so that's another environment that we find ourselves in. That can be culture on a big picture, like your whole country, or it could be smaller, like the town that you grew up in. It could be really small, like the culture of your own family, how your family looks at certain things and thinks about certain things, and what their values are, how they balance their values out. And that's going to be something is going to be at the foundation of your thinking and it's your upbringing. And that's the environment that you were raised in. So we have environment that's outside of us. We have environment that's inside of us. The environment that is social is what we just talked about, but there's also the environment of nature. There's also the environment of what does your own physical space actually look like? And in my case, I've chosen this beautiful outdoors environment because it's inspiring my creativity, because it's making me think differently, because I feel that I'm in a different space than where I would just normally be if I was just in the room somewhere, if I was in an office or whatever. I'm out here. I'm a part of this bigger picture, and this environment is coming into my mind. It is sinking in with all the bird sounds and the sound of the breeze through the leaves, and being able to feel the little crawling things going across the surfaces everywhere, feeling all of the different tensions and all the different movement, and seeing butterflies and moths in the corners of my eyes. There's all of this rich sensory input that I'm experiencing as I'm out here, and this environment feels alive. And before I came out here, I was feeling kind of depressed, not because I really had anything to be sad about, but it's just being inside too much, just being in the dark and gloominess, and just feeling everything's the same and lacking this rich experience that I have out here. Now I don't feel sad anymore. I don't feel bad at all. I feel really good. I'm out here with the living things. Environment makes a very big difference. Now that's really the power move that I want to get into and I want to talk about, is how we are able to set the environment. We're able to choose our environment. And that's true even if you're in prison, even if you're stuck somewhere you don't want to be, even if you're at a dead-end job or a place that you just can't get away from. You still have the power over your environment. And there's a couple different ways, but number one, it's this environment. You always have control of the environment of your mind. You always can decide what kinds of thoughts populate there, what kinds of values do you fix yourself on, the things that you see as the real aims and what really matters in life, what's important to you. Even something to the extent of like your likes and dislikes, what you choose to like, what you choose to dislike. It is actually your choice. It's not something that just has to happen to you. You can develop a taste for things. You can decide that something is distasteful and stop letting it be a part of your life. So that power over the internal environment, how we focus on our life, what we think of it, the kind of narrative that we have. You can look at it all as a tragedy, or you can look at it as a comedy, as something to laugh and be excited about and see that it's going in a positive direction in the end. And that's completely on us to make that decision. So we have control over the internal environment, and that power allows us to pivot and deal with bad situations in life, deal with external circumstances and things that are not as we would have them be. Now, next, we also do have some control of the outside world. We can't dictate everything. You can't make everything exactly as you wish, as you want it to be. And that's even not even true of the mind, because there's effort and process and time, and you can't just force emotions on and off. And there's work to be done to make your internal world, your internal environment, what you want it to be. But the same is true also on this outward environment. We have the ability to remove ourselves from a situation. I removed myself from our office indoors and came out here to enjoy this beautiful sun and breeze and bird song. And I made that choice to go from there to here. Also, we can decide how we arrange our environment. That room, we've done so many different changes to it, and it might be due for another change. Might be due to set things in a different way, that it feels more open, that it feels more free, that it gets things, percolating more in our psyche and in our neurons, getting things to feel like we're not just in a bland and boring and dead space. So that's something, we can choose to. You can choose to arrange furniture differently. You can choose to put up posters and things and change out the posters that you have. That makes a difference. It makes a difference to clean up clutter, to fix whatever mess might be sitting around. You might think that it doesn't affect you, but it probably actually does. Environment gets to you on this deeper psychological level. It's in the unconscious. It's not just all conscious. You're not just fully aware all the time of how things are actually affecting you that are around you. So that's number two. On the third part, we do get to decide what kind of people we have surrounding us all the time. And we have decisions about that. We don't have complete freedom. We can't just say, hey, I want to be friends with rock stars and actors and actresses because those are my people or whatever. We can't just decide that we want to be friends with somebody who's long gone in the past. But we do get to decide, again, environment where we are, and where people are is the difference. Where are the people that we would like to be with as opposed to the people that we would rather not be with. We can be in a different room. We can be in a different place. The thing is, we can choose within the group of people that we might need to be with because of the job that we're working at, or because of what school we go to, or because that's just the area that we live in. That's where our business is. That's what we want to have. We have a decision. We can not associate with certain people, no matter how much others think that we should have to associate with them. We can still decide when that person is just not healthy for us, when they don't make things any better for us, when it's not really a mutually beneficial situation and it just creates conflict and issues. We can decide to minimize contact with that person and set boundaries on them. Make sure that we're only taking them in limited doses. And for some people, we don't really even have to take them on any doses at all. We don't really even have to let them into our personal space. So we have a decision here. We can set the environment of what kind of people we have around us, because they are very much environment. They are very much the air that we're breathing. What kind of emotions they have all the time, what's going on with them, what they're thinking, what they're criticizing, what they're against, what they're for, their way that their values and their priorities work. It's all exerting a gravity on you, a gravitational pull. That's either aligned with you and aligned with the things that you really want for your life, or it's against it. And if it's against it, then you're carrying that weight and you're working with that extra twist that gets you off your direction. You don't understand, you can't see where you're going anymore. And that leads to depression, and that leads to frustration, leads to a lot of hard to work through feelings, and energy's lost and what you could be doing, what you really want to do. The environment of people is a thing that we should look to control. We should look to minimize contexts where we're just drained and it takes the life out of us. And we should try to structure our relationships and structure the way that we do allow people into our life in such a way that it is as beneficial as possible for both parties, that it's as positive as possible for ourselves and for those that we're connecting with. And that's good practices for relationships, because that's one of the environments that we live in. Another environment that we live in is calling. What I'm talking about primarily here is what we involve ourselves with, whether that's a profession or a hobby. And it's the things that we do in the world that are so much a part of our daily life, a part of everything that we participate in. And they shape us. It shapes you if you like to go kayaking and you do that. It shapes you if you like to do wood carving. It shapes you when you have a business that does construction. Whatever you do, the things that you're really intensely involved in life, it sets an environment. And it's going to, and we talked about this a little bit earlier with the engineer dad, it's going to change how you approach problems. It's going to put a certain spin on what kinds of things you're looking for in life, what kind of problems you try to solve, what kind of solutions you bring to those problems, the things that you're attempting to just have in your life, and the kinds of things that you're going to end up doing even when you're just on your rest time and just wanting to enjoy things and just celebrate. It's going to come into all of that. It's going to influence all of that to some degree. So we have to understand, and we have to choose an environment where the kind of work that we do, where the kinds of things that we get engaged in, they're things that are really supportive of the kind of value system we want to have and the life that we really want to live, the big picture, the big vision. If something makes you toxic, if something constantly steals your joy, then you have to make a decision. Is this something worth keeping? Is this something I should have, that I should be doing in my life? Or is this actually something that I need to get rid of? And so is it a matter of work and getting things structured properly and being able to let things go in the right time? Or is it, this is just not even for me? And we have to make those decisions. We can't do everything. You can't do every hobby in the world. You can't do every job in the world. You can't know everything. You can't participate in everything. We have limited paths that we get to have in a life. So we need to make a decision on what's really the best one for us right now where we're at in our life. And yeah, again, you do have to commit to things and see things through long enough to know the difference and know if it really is something that works. But we need to be careful of lying to ourselves and saying, well, maybe it'll be better if I just hold on a little bit longer. And the reality is there's no intention to really see. There's no point to escape and to quit. It's just we've become comfortable in that zone. It's become a norm for us. And now we don't want to leave anymore. We have to watch out for that. You have to watch out for situations that are just flat out abusive, are just flat out toxic. You don't want to get adjusted to that. For a lot of things, it's neither here nor there. It's more so, does it bring out the best in you? And that's what you need, the environment of your work. That's what you need, the environment of your hobbies, the things that you do, that you play, that you have fun with, even rest and how you rest, how you sleep. You need the things that you're involved with to feed into positive health, to feed into balance, to where you have the best of rest, the best of work, and the best of play. That's what I wanted to say today about environments. And I want to leave you with this question. Are you taking care of your environments? Are you staying aware of how they impact your life? Whether that's the environment of your mind, the environment of your relationships, the environment of the work or the things that you do in your life, the environment of your actual physical space. Are you taking the time to observe and make sure that your environment is clean, that it is beautiful, that it helps you be focused on the thing that you're trying to do in your life at that time that you're in that environment, some of which is all the time. And if you're somewhere all the time, then that much more reason why it's worth taking a step back and making sure that your environment is what you need it to be, and that it's supporting the goals that you have for your life. It's supporting the vision that you see for yourself, that you want to have achieved in your life. That's it for today, and thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, that it was helpful to you. Please give me any questions or comments down below. Appreciate you watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is you have, wherever you are. Thanks for watching.